Welcome everyone, this is Zozo Stockwatch, and this is your Stockwatch list for Tuesday, September 5th. And just a brief thing about this Hurricane Irma is up to a Category 4 and expected to hit Miami, I guess, in the PM on Saturday at about 130 mile per hour winds. So that's heading towards Florida, and you see the Bahamas and Cuba, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. So that's headed for Miami as it stands Sunday evening. My time is 5:33. So to all those folks down there in Florida, prepare yourself, and Hurricane Irma may be on the way and may be hitting by Saturday. All right, let's go ahead and get into the some of the news that came out Friday. We had some top insider purchases in Tiffany, FSP, JIL, AAT, and NLY. For some syndicate news that came out after the bell on Friday, CDNA, Form S1, DY, S3, ENZ, EQIX, GEMP, INUV, ITI, MEDP, PTGX, Form S3, RADA, also RMBL, TPIC, and XON filed a Form S3, mixed shelf security for XON. So that's some of the news that came out of the bell after the bell on Friday, the weekend of Labor Day. Some of your action on Friday, top gainers. We had APVO with the news that came out, I believe it was Thursday night, and APVO was a top gainer for Friday. SDRL, NVCN, TIS, RTNB, NAO, CONN, CLLS, PANW, BGNE, OXM, RDY, all were top gainers for Friday. Top losers were AMBA, they had their earnings, TECD, FSNN, PGNX, ADAP, COO, CGG, AAAP, AMRN, SNX, IMGN, and YGE were your top losers over there on Friday before the weekend. Let's go ahead, we'll get into some options activity. And we had AU with call activity, CAG call activity, Ford Motor Company with call activity, NVIDIA, NVDA, NQ, SEE, Sealed Air Corp, Verizon, WUBA, all with unusual call activity on Friday. To the put side, the negative side, OSTK, and XL with unusual put activity. Some of your earnings calls for tomorrow, for Tuesday, September 5th, MEIP, DLNG, VCO, NSSC. In the after hours tomorrow, DLTH, HOME, HQY, HPE, and Dave & Buster's, PLAY. So that's your earnings conference calls for after the bell for tomorrow. Let's check and see. For tonight, we have the Japanese PMI coming out at 8:30, and then the General Services PMI coming out from China at 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's for tonight, Monday the 4th. For Tuesday, for the 5th, we have some Fed Speak. Lyle Brainard speaking at 7:30 a.m. for Fed Speak. 10 o'clock we have factory orders. Let's see if there's more Fed Speak. Neil Kashkari at 1:10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. we have Robert Kaplan, and we'll take a look at some earnings for tomorrow. And before the bell for tomorrow, for September 5th, DLNG, MEIP. After the bell, we have CASY, COUP, HOME, Home, and Dave & Buster, PLAY. And that's some of your earnings after the bell for tomorrow. Next up, we'll take a look at some stocks. And before we get into the watch, let's just take a quick look at the SPY. You see we're up here at this top resistance, 249. We've had a nice recovery off and near the 100 SMA here. We held above the trend line. So now let's see if they want to break us through 249 on the SPY. You see kind of a little bit of an indecision candle on Friday, but it was Friday before the holiday and 3-day weekend. So we'll give the benefit of the doubt to the bulls since we are above the 50 SMA. So let's go ahead and get into the watch list. APVO was on that, made a nice move from that news Thursday night that they had, and it popped. So I'm going to watch this on an intraday basis, APVO, and see if we can get some kind of setup in the name. I have an extensive list here because I'm really not sure what to expect, with the Korean news, and they have, testing the hydrogen bomb, and it's getting pretty, nasty out there as far as, the language being used by Korea and, whatnot. So, I don't know what to expect. So it's kind of an extensive list, but obviously we don't have to watch them all. But here's a gold name, AUY. If things get hairy with Korea, we might want to watch gold, and it's up near this $3 level. See if we get maybe a continuation in AUY. BYD. This is one of the casino names, and this one looks nice. And check out Penn. After it broke out, it really popped nicely. LVS. Also a nice move, and full disclosure, I'm in this LVS, but BYD looks like it's setting up here to maybe take off, depending on how the market's going to be. We did bounce and held above the 50 SMA there. Cliff, full disclosure, I'm also in this one when it broke this $8 level on CLF. Now it would have to get through this 850 area. You see, natural resistance number there at 850. So keep your eye on that one, and maybe some of the steels will move also. There's X, AKS, but Cliff is above the moving averages, above the 200, so that's why I like this one a little bit better. Let's see, COT is a beverage company. 1 million shares came into the name on Friday. We'll see if they want to maybe do a continuation move on this. This would be more of a swing trade, but some of the beverage companies are looking good. So COT, here's Coca-Cola, soda, and then Fizz has earnings one day this week. I think it's during market hours on FIZZ or ZZ. So I'm gonna watch this COT. Disney, this would be more of a short. If the market's looking down with the futures down, I might watch this on a break of this 101. Let's see where the bottom of this candle was. That break of 101 on Disney for a short. It's kind of bear flagging here. So I'll watch Disney as a possible short because I guess we should have some shorts on watch if the futures are negative tonight. DVAX, this one's been holding tough, holding above, the fast moving averages, riding the 5 EMA, and looking maybe to break this $18 area on DVAX. High was 1840. I think if it can get back maybe over 1825 or so, that one could be an interesting play, depending on how the biotechs, if they stay strong. Fuel Cell, they have earnings coming up this week. Looking for this one to take out the highs from Friday, maybe like $1.65. Gets over $1.65. We could get a continuation. Ballard Power, BLDP. This one's moving up nicely. Plug, not doing much, but is back above the 50 SMA. FCEL looks, very nice over this 200 SMA on FCEL. Because Palo Alto, PANW, had nice earnings and the pop. I'm trying to see if we can get this FireEye moving, but it has to get over this, 1503, get back over it above that 50 SMA. So, maybe over the highs, 1505, 1506. If you want to wait for 1510 in that area for FAY. That one's one to watch. FOLD. Full disclosure, we're in this one on the break, so we'll see if we can get more continuation in that one. But I just wanted to show this one as an example. We spoke about this in previous videos. You see the consolidation when we got up and over, our resistance area here. We got a nice continuation move. FSLR. Looking for this one to take out the highs, that 48.25 spot on FSLR. See if that one wants to go. GFI, this is another gold name, and trying to get back over $4.50. So keep your eye on this GFI, and maybe a continuation depending, what kind of market we're going to get tomorrow. HZN, this is an industrial name. We do have a high of about 1749, so over 1755. This one could get going. It's more of a swing trade. You see it's a lower volume, but if it gets over that 755, and then you would probably use the bottom of this candle, that break of 17 as your stop if you try swing trading it. IDXG, this one is basing under the 100 SMA, but the big number here is this 150 resistance number, all right, on IDXG, that natural 150. It gets over that, might take a few days, but it might be interesting. IMAX, after getting pummeled down each day, we're finally above the 20 SMA. And see if this one has any type of continuation. 1.5 million shares. Here's the weekly on it. I mean, you can see it was 34, now down to 18. The high was 44 back here. Not that that means anything, but the stock has been getting, hit hard. So maybe there's some kind of recovery trade in this. So one might be one to watch. IPWR popped up on Friday. Didn't break 500,000 shares, and you see it came right up to this 200 SMA, so it's not a favorite unless it can get back up over maybe 275 on IPWR. So it'll be watched, but not a favorite. KERX moving up with all the other bios, had a lot of straight days up. If the market's weak and this can't get above 775, you might want to consider, after all these days up, this is a nice bounce. If it can't get above 775, could be a possible short on this name. So that one would be more of a short, just because of, the strength and all these days up. So, if the market's weak tomorrow, this one may be one to watch for, traders taking some money off the table. This LC Credit Services, is holding the 5 EMA. Would have to get over, this high here of 640. So keep your eye on that if you're interested in LC. LEJU, nice recovery here, nice volume, expanding volume, coming up over the 50 SMA now, and this one has a high of 188. We closed 182, so over 190. LEJU, Real Estate Services. I really don't know much about the company, but it's been straight down. Now it's starting to turn back up, so that one could be one to watch. LGIH, residential construction. So with these hurricanes going on, maybe this one will be in play. You see the big candle that came in on Friday. So looking for maybe a possible 45 break. The 20 SMA on this name is 4506, so 4510 on LGIH. Lulu, they had earnings. They liked the earnings. They popped it up. But we hit resistance here around that 6250. Needs to get over this 6250 area, and maybe you might get a continuation in that name. Right now, that's the strongest name in the sector. Nike and UAA pretty much, pretty weak and pretty beaten down. SKX, Skechers also pretty weak, but Lulu, looking pretty tough there. MNGA, for you guys that like these lower priced, you see it's turning back up, turning above the 5 EMA here on MNGA. Volume's very light in this thing. If you want to take a shot, you buy a few shares here at like 58, 60 cents, and you hold it and see if it can turn back up. This one is a really strange stock. Sometimes it gives you good moves like here. So, that's what we'd be looking for. NADL, oil and gas drilling, popping, over 400,000 shares traded. But you see, we have a high back here on Friday, August 25th, and the high was $1.70. And then we came almost right back up to that 170. We had a 168. So if this can get back over 170, it might give you a continuation move on NADL. A couple of shippers here that popped on Friday. Looking for that, highs to be taken out on NAO. The high was 144, or you could wait for the 150 spot. Just remember, you have a declining 200 SMA, but it is starting to get back over the 50 SMA, the blue line here. You see how it's been holding it, and now all of a sudden it's perking up, and that's almost 3 million shares that came into the name. NAT looking to get back over the 20 SMA. Pretty much the same boat. It's been down, get it, boat, been going down, but now it's starting to perk back up, get over that 5 EMA. 510 was the high, so watching that 510, and 1.5 million shares. NEWR, basing nicely here on the 10 SMA. The high was 48.35, so maybe 48.20 will be enough to get NEWR moving. Strong stock above the 50. The 200 is sloped up. The 100 is sloped up. The 50 sloped up. Would have much rather have had it, down here, but I wasn't on it. So now we'll see if we can get back over that 48.20, 48.10. NTXI, I day traded this one on Friday. Gave a nice pop, pulled back, but I was already gone and out of it by the time it pulled back. So, but this had earnings. They beat earnings. They beat earnings here, gapped up. They pushed it up here. So the number here it needs to get over is, 24. So I'm not interested until it gets back over 24. You see it pulled back all the way down to 22. But some folks were asking me about this NTXI, so I figured I'd put that one in there. NVCN, big pop. 5 million shares traded, medical devices. So we'll see if this sets up intraday on a 2-minute or a 5-minute chart for NVCN. PLG, industrial metals and minerals, platinum group, PLG, over 0.75. This could be interesting, right? We're starting to curl up, starting to take out the 50 SMA. So watch that 0.75 break, and 1 million shares came into the name. You see the volume's been expanding, and that's PLG. PSX, this is one of those refiners. And a nice setup here if it can get over, 84.65 or so. All right, so keep your eye on PSX. Depending on what's gonna, how Hurricane Harvey, how the refiners are doing, and this could get moving on PSX, Phillips 66, QUIK, nice pop, volume over 500,000 shares. The number here is $1.50, needs to get over $1.50. RICE. Nice oil play here, holding above the 50 SMA. We have a spike high here at 27.55, and we have a previous high here at 27.65. So let it go ahead and clear that 27.60 spot, and maybe we get a continuation. This would be a nice swing trade with a break under for a stop, break of 26.85, call it. So keep your eye on this Rice RTNB. This thing was hot as a pistol these last few days here. Perking up again on Friday, 6 million shares. So maybe it's not done yet on RTNB. SEDG, SEDG. Actually a nicer chart than First Solar. So this one might want to get going. 27.40 was the high. Closed at 27, so we'll see if this one can maybe hold and base this 27 a little bit longer. But this one could be interesting. You see it's kind of flagging and holding that 27, 26 area. So keep your eye on that SEDG and First Solar. SID, 5 million shares came into this, a steel name. and trying to get back up and hold above the 200 SMA. So watch it for the break of 3 on this name. We had 296 high, closed at 289. So watch this one for a break of $3. STRL has been popping. This is engineering and construction. And so that might heat up with the storm Irma heading down to Florida. And also, because of Harvey, obviously it's been heating up. Needs to take out, 13, or if there's any kind of pullback, maybe to 1225 or so, to stay above the 50 SMA. So that one looks nice. USB looks like a short here. If it can take out the lows from Friday, 51.24. So we'll call it a break of 51.20. If it can break down and break that 51.20, you may get a short. Now, we don't know how the market's going to open tomorrow, so I'm giving you a few short ideas. One was Disney, and one was this USB. USG, this is another hurricane play, and then there's that GNRC. This is the generator, but that one has had a big run. This might give you continuation, but USG also, at least we have a pullback here. And USG. So I'm not sure what entry to give you. Probably if it gets back over, that 30 spot, it could, start to run back up. And, let's see if, this is definitely a hurricane play with the building materials and whatnot. Valero is another refiner looking for that, 70 break. You see we hit 70 here. Few times back here we've hit 70. So if it clears 70, it's at 69.20. If you want to try it a little bit earlier, over like 69.60 for possible $70 break on VLO. Watt starting to turn up after being down so many days in a row. 1.1 million shares came in. It could just be shorts covering on Friday, but we'll see if there's any type of setup intraday on this WATT. WBT, diversified industrial, 2025. All right, so 2025, if it can clear that, you might get a continuation move. 1.2 million shares, well built, incorporated. So watch that 2025 spot. WRN, once again, this one, nice pop, big expanding volume here, and breaking out over that $1.30. So keep your eye on this one, maybe for a continuation move. XXII, still holding above this 10 SMA. You see we're in this consolidation. For me, this one would have to get over the highs here from August 31st, 235. So I'm looking for it to take out, 235. Let me draw my line there. And, to get over this 235, 236 spot, and maybe a continuation in that XII. Yelp, setting up nicely, breaking out of consolidation, this nice flag. The high Friday on the name was 43.43. If you want to try it, 43.10, but then you want the break of that 43.50. Your stop would probably go, if it breaks the 10 SMA, at around 42.23 on Yelp. But I don't know what kind of market we're going to have, so just be aware of that. ZAYO is the last one on the list, and you see this 34.50 spot has been resistance. So we'll see if we can get over this 34.50 for a continuation move in ZAYO. So having said all that with the market and whatnot, we don't know what the futures are going to do. I'll try to bring those over because I'm doing this at about 6 o'clock on a Sunday night. So we'll see what the futures are going to be doing in the overnight. But I gave you a nice selection. You have some gold plays, you have some shorts. I know it's quite a few stocks. But like I said, some people like $1, under $1 names, so I threw some of those in there. And, some other things we're going to have to watch. You can watch this TVIX if the VIX is going to get going because of what's going on in North Korea. SPXU. Also, if this moves, if the market moves down, this inverse will move up. So SPXU, TZA is the way to short the IWM. So if the IWM drops, this will turn back up. So TZA, SDS is another way. Once again, these are inverses, so if the market's moving down, these will turn and move up. And UVXY is another way to play the volatility. I don't really trade this one. TVIX I have traded in the past, so you know, you might want to keep an eye on that depending on how the markets are going to do tomorrow. We could get some volatility back in the market. So there's some inverses for you also. Once again, if the markets are moving down, these inverses will move up. So you have SDS, SPXU, TZA. All right, and those are some of your inverses. This one is for the IWM. All right, so that's some other thoughts that I just wanted to get out there. And I'll bring over the futures right now. It's still early. It's, you know, like I said, a little bit after 6. And, you know, we see the futures are down a little bit here. The Dow futures down about 6. The S&P down 1 and the NASDAQ down 6, but it's very early yet. Last night they were down about 10 handles on the ES, so tonight, you know, they're not down that much as of yet. We also have you know, gold just trading down about $1, so not much movement in gold at the moment. So there's your futures, and as you can see, we're covering a little bit. So we'll see what they want to do for tomorrow. All right, just be careful out there tomorrow. It's you know, folks are going to be coming back from you know, their holiday and whatnot. Tomorrow is a Monday, but it's really a Tuesday because we had the shortened week. And you know, take it slow. You don't have to overtrade and be in something right away. Let's get a feel for the market, see what they want to do. All right, everybody, have a very nice weekend. Have a very nice week of trading. As you know, I do a stocks to watch list every evening, so be on the lookout for that on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube, please. Hit the like button if you like these videos. And also, in case you don't know, I have a service. I don't charge you much for the service. It's swing trading and day trading. I'm on the microphone pretty much, you know, most of the day. The room opens up at 7 a.m. At ZozoStockWatch.com, and I share my scans with you as far as, you know, screen share. We have news in the room provided by Trade Exchange, and we show that up on the screen share for you. So we are sharing a lot of information, and we have trade ideas scanners going all the time. So you know, come check it out. It's Zozo Stock Watch. I'll put the link down in the bottom if you're interested, and I think it's a very reasonable price. You get a very experienced trader to trade with each day. And my name is Mike, and you can come to ZozoStockWatch.com and check it out and join me there. And I think I can help you with your trading. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for supporting the YouTube channel. And I hope this watch list helps you. If you missed the Let's Get Ready for the Week Ahead, that video has also been out. So take care, everybody. And thank you for your help. Good luck trading. See you with the next Stocks to Watch video tomorrow on Tuesday evening. Thank you.